Let me tell you something. When the pads go on, you start finding out who's real. And for the Chargers, we may have just gotten our first glimpse of a potential breakout on this defense. Junior Colson and Justin Eboigbe, two guys who came into camp with more questions than answers, it just made some serious noise at Chargers training camp. And guys, this might be the start of something big. So before moving further, let me ask you a question. Do you think Junior Coulson can win that starting linebacker job this season, or is Denzel Perryman still locked in? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your take. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Now, coming into this season, Junior Coulson was one of the biggest unknowns on this roster. I mean, let's be real. The Chargers bring back Denzel Perryman. They've got Troy Dye getting work. And from the outside looking in, it felt like Coulson was going to have to fight just to get on the field. And then on Thursday, this happened. Multiple reports, Eric Smith and Daniel Popper both said the same thing. Junior Coulson stood out. In a practice where the defense dominated from start to finish, Coulson was right in the middle of the action. Physical, fast, confident. He made plays, and that's exactly what this defense needs. Let's not forget Denzel Perryman. For all the tone setting and big hits, he's a limited player. He's not a complete linebacker. You're not putting him out there in coverage. You're not scheming him to blitz consistently. But Coulson, if he can take what he did in college and bring that to the league, that's a whole different level of potential. He had a delayed blitz that would have been a sack. 2-run stuff during 9-on-7. Good instincts. High football IQ. That's the kind of stuff coaches notice, especially this early in pads. Jesse Minter said it best. He's playing downhill, he's physical, and not only is his confidence growing, but the confidence of the guys around him is growing in him. That's when a young player starts to become something more. And then there's Justin Eboigbe, another guy who didn't flash at all last year, practically a ghost during camp. Didn't make a single impact snap in 2024. Now, he shows up on Thursday and makes 4 standout plays in practice. And remember, this is only the second day in pads. That matters. This dude added 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason, transitioning from edge to full-time interior defensive lineman. And you can tell. He had a rep in 11-on-11 where he just blew up a play in the backfield by walking the guard back into the running back's lap. That's the kind of play that won't show up on a stat sheet, but it wrecks offensive rhythm. That's how you earn a spot in rotation. And look, it wasn't just Eboigbe. The entire defensive line balled out on Thursday. According to both Popper and Smith, basically every single interior D lineman made a play. Tier Tart, Otito Ogbonia, Naquan Jones. Even Jemery Caldwell got a special mention. So, guys are fighting for jobs right now, and you literally can feel it. And here's the wild part. Jesse Minter said, there are 5, 6, maybe 7 guys that can all legitimately play in this rotation. That's a great problem to have, especially for a unit that not too long ago was considered one of the weakest interior lines in football. Now it's a bloodbath. Someone who's good isn't making this 53-man roster. That's how competitive it is right now. And let's give some love to Otito Ogbonia specifically. He's been squarely on the roster bubble, but he's stacking good reps. A sack with Bud Dupree, a win in one-on-ones against Branson Taylor, pressure on Jemery Salyer. He's making a real push to stick. Now, even with all these positive signs, the big headline around the league on Thursday was Christian Wilkins being released by the Raiders after just 1 year. That's a stunner, and it says a lot about former GM Tom Telesco's track record. Another big money miss, another guy off the roster early. But let's bring it back to the Chargers. Should they be interested? Yes, if he's healthy. But that's the catch, because based on the Raiders' statement, and this is wild, they said, with no clear path or plan for return to play, this transaction is necessary. What does this mean? They have no idea when or even if he'll be back. And on top of that, there's talk of another foot surgery. It's a huge risk. But guys, if he somehow ends up healthy by week 4, you'd still take that gamble. Because if Wilkins is right, he brings something this D-line doesn't have. A legit game wrecker. 9 sacks, 58 pressures in 2023. That's not normal for a DT. Now, on the flip side, let's talk about edge rushers for a second, because this is a group that we haven't heard much from in camp. Khalil Mack, Tuipulotu, Bud Dupree, Kyle Kennard, 4 guys, and right now, pretty quiet. But here's the thing, though. In camp, edge rushers can't really finish plays. You get close to the QB, and then you peel off. No contact. So it's tough to truly evaluate, but here's where there should be some concern. This group needs a lot of things to fall into place. You need Mack to turn back the clock again. You need Tulie to take a leap. You need Kennard, a rookie, to play real snaps. And you need Dupree to show he's still got enough juice to be disruptive. That's not a small ask. Last year, Joey Bosa only played 450 snaps, and that was the lowest of their top 4. So if Kennard's going to fill that role, he's going to have to be ready. And right now, no standout plays yet. This is not a panic moment, but definitely something to watch. Okay, now let me tell you something positive. The tight end room. And I'll be honest, this group quietly looks way better than last year. You've got a real mix now. Oronde Gadsden II is a pass-catching threat, Tyler Conklin as your steady vet, Will Dissly as a top-tier blocker, and Tucker Fisk as your extra lineman type. That's a balanced room. Gadsden, by the way, had a huge block in 9-on-7, opened up a big chunk run. If he can bring that physicality along with his receiving skill set, that's a legit weapon for this offense. But not everything's trending up. Behind Omarion Hampton, the running back situation still feels dicey. We finally saw Najee Harris on the field, but he was fully hooded, giant sunglasses, hoodie up. And honestly, it raised more questions than it answered. We still don't know what his status really is. And if he's not available, that puts even more pressure on Hampton, who's already expected to carry a massive load as a rookie. We need to see him in live action. Real contact, real pads. That Hall of Fame game could be a glimpse. Last thing, with the Chargers opening up the season with 3 straight division games, I actually think we're going to see more starters in the preseason than we have in years past. Maybe not full halves, maybe just a couple series, but Jim Harbaugh has a track record of playing his guys in the preseason. So don't be shocked if we see Herbert, even just briefly. So guys, I'm watching Kamani Vidal with Rocket Sanders banged up. He's going to get the real run. Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith, wideouts who are both pushing for roster spots. Junior Colson and Justin Eboigbe. Can they keep stacking days? Kyle Kennard, does he flash in live reps? Jasir Taylor being called one of the most improved players on the roster, and Zion Johnson at center. This could change the whole offensive line dynamic. We've got a long way to go, but if you're a Chargers fan, there's real reason to believe that this defense could be something different, something dangerous, if these young guys keep stepping up. I'll be breaking it all down every step of the way, so make sure you're subscribed.
Let me know in the comments, is Junior Coulson the real deal, or are we getting ahead of ourselves after one padded practice?
Catch you in the next one, and as always, bolt up.